Yo, you two fucks are too old for that shit, man.
Fatality! Da, 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 da. Level car! Da, 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 da. Fatality! Let's go! Down in Leicester, there's a legend of the throne. 25 years of steel, now he's putting on a show. Step into the GRANBOARD, aiming for the glow. Soft tip assassin, yeah, he's letting arrows flow. It's a fatality. We are standing bloody proud. Grab a pine and step aside. He's stepping to the line. If you play the ruthless one, you're running out of time. Oh, welcome to the games where the ruthless survive. On the stream, keeping darts alive. Spin the wheel of mayhem, let the madness begin. He's gonna scream, finish him, and take the bloody win. From the UK to the world, strictly internet. If you match up with the maestro, it's a game you won't forget. A game you won't forget. Triple 20 bullseye, he's wiping out the floor. Leaving you wanting more. It's a fatality Friday. We are standing bloody. Grab a pint and step aside. He's stepping to the line. If you play the ruthless one, you're running out of time. Finish him. Oh, welcome to the games where the ruthless survive. Craig Lavoca's on the stream, keeping darts alive.
All right, boys, we're in.
What are we in?
We're in the live chat, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Fatality Games live studio chat, the world's worst darts chat on planet Earth. Sometimes we talk about darts, sometimes we talk about quote unquote gay intro streams. But we'll save that for another day. I'm joined with my co-hosts one more time, Stephen Parks and John Peters. Gentlemen, how are you doing today?
Wonderful.
Doing well.
That's good. That's the first time I've seen you smile in the last 3.5 minutes, Stephen. So keep it up.
Because he's getting excited because Matt Iceman will be coming on soon.
Well, that was going to be my next point. Tonight's special guest for the studio chat is Mr. Matt Iceman. Thank you, Stephen and John, again for sorting this out. When you guys are ready, if you'd like to see if you can get him on the line, and we'll crack on with this this Dart Studio chat.
Calling him now.
Maybe he won't answer.
If he's got anything about him, he won't answer.
There he is.
Oh, you know what? For the first time, I actually saw him straight off the bat, and I still hit redial.
What's up, fellas?
Hey, how you doing, brother? Welcome to the Fatality Games live studio chat, Mr. Iceman. Thank you very much for taking the time out of your day to join us this evening or this afternoon for yourself. First questions first. Usually I ask, kick it off with, tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got into the darts game, etc., etc. But what I really want to know, and this has piqued my interest over the last couple of days, is Iceman on your birth certificate?
Yep.
That is your literal last surname.
Yep.
That is probably one of the most kick-ass surnames I've ever heard in my entire life. I was for sure that's got to be a nickname.
No, a lot of people think that, but nope.
The Iceman. Love it. Love it. Well, first and foremost then, or secondly, should I say, tell us a little bit about yourself, Matt, for anybody who's unfamiliar with what you do.
Just an average guy from Ohio. Got into playing back in, say, 2000 is when I started like leagues and stuff like that. But randomly before then would just kind of throw with friends and stuff like that. And then got talked into playing and just kept playing.
Sure. So back in the year 2000, so was it something you always had a bit of an interest in, or something you kind of accidentally fell into, like our last week's guest, Kevin? Was it Kevin Nelson?
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah.
Just kind of fell into it.
Nice. And so I'm assuming between now and then you've never looked back. Have you ever taken a break away from it?
Yes, I have. I took a couple-year break back, I don't know, 2009, 10-ish. And then kind of am right now, just kind of burned out on it and don't play too much right now.
Okay.
But just kind of watch.
That's quite interesting. So, what's the if you don't mind me asking, what's the reason for the burnout? Were you just going a bit too hard, a bit too fast? Not enough days in the week? I don't know. If you'd like to explain, you're more than welcome to. Now's the chance.
Honestly, I think for me was kind of the online. Online burned me out. Just so much by yourself all the time. And it just kind of, I guess it didn't really burn me out. It just kind of made it not as much fun for me.
I see. Yeah, because I guess I think what you may be trying to say is that online is always there. There's no cut-off point, so you can switch the board on at any point. Any
Right.
point in time, it'll always be there, but you're never really with people. Like, you can pretend you're with people. I do it myself when I'm on the live stream, but I'm very, very much, when I look around these four walls by myself. If I'm
Right.
lucky, I have my fiance there, but apart from that, is that something maybe you were trying to say?
I mean, kind of, because I don't ever have my mic on. I just usually turn the music on and just throw.
Do your own thing. That's fair enough. That's fair enough. Well, again, thank you for taking the time out for hanging out with us tonight. We've got Matt Iceman for a good time, not a long time, ladies and gentlemen. So if you've got any questions for him in the live studio chat, now's the chance to post it in there. We're going to be live for the next 55 minutes or so. We're going to talk some things darts, some other things not. Exactly why Matt Iceman hates Stephen Parks, just like everybody else. And we'll go from there. Gentlemen, do you have anything you'd like to say to kick off the show?
So, Matt, so you've been playing darts for almost 26 years. How have you not improved whatsoever?
I did until I met Parks.
Oh, here we go.
Solid
That'll do it
answer.
to you. That'll bring your averages straight back down. I've seen that movie before a few times.
Maybe that's what happened to my dart game, because I used to play pretty decent until I started talking to Parks as well.
Right.
Well, check this, Peters. Check this, right? Stephen Parks had the audacity to call me last night and saying that he threw so well in this tournament the night before. What was he? What you were throwing a 450 average in cricket?
Something like that.
Yeah,
And
and
then
then what
lost.
happened?
We
I mean,
lost.
I'm going to let you explain. You told the story way better than I did.
I shot with Rich Howe in the Beef Bash on Friday night. We were both playing really well, and we just got beat by better darts.
Yeah, apparently they both shot so fantastic they got knocked straight out of the first game and then straight out of the losers bracket. Darts, boys.
Yeah. So John Mills is in North Carolina now. He wants to know, Matt, what's your most memorable moment in darts?
What's up, Millsy?
Besides meeting me.
Yeah, definitely not that. I would say probably back in 2007 when I went to Connecticut and played in the U.S. Open.
Wow, what was that experience like? Talk us through that.
It was different. It was a little nerve-wracking. There's probably a little too much pre-gaming to get over the nerves.
Yeah,
But
no,
I also back then wasn't the greatest with math, and that actually didn't help me when I'm throwing at the wrong doubles because my math was wrong.
I tell you what, and that's another reason why I'm still terrible at maths with the online darts thing you were talking about earlier. I've got so comfortable with it doing it all for me that I'm never going to improve mentally if I'm playing on a traditional steel tip board.
Right.
Yeah,
And of course,
that.
back then there was no Dart Connect or, it was all straight chalking and.
Back in 07, did you say?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah, you're right there. I don't think there was anything online darts wise, right? As far as I'm aware.
No.
When it comes to GRANBOARD, anybody that wants to improve their math, you can turn off the outs feature on the board.
Right.
So I highly recommend turn that off and learn your math.
I mean, I started it as a complaint, but I'll be honest, I'm incredibly lazy, so I don't think I'm gonna be doing that anytime soon.
But
I don't know
I'm
about
just
you
saying
guys.
for anybody that truly wants to learn the math side of it, turn
That's
that
interesting.
feature off.
I honestly, I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Like on my board, I have it turned off because it gives you the best out. It doesn't give you the best out for your ability to shoot.
Right.
Oh yeah. So Matt, are you rocking a GRANBOARD these days?
Actually, last night, the old man over there, me and him played a couple matches, and that was probably the first time I've been online in probably 2 or 3 months.
Okay. And
even before then, it was probably
partnering with Parks.
Yeah, even before then, it was probably a couple months even before that. So
that's fair. That's fair. Well, I'm not too sure whether I've had the privilege of playing you online on the GRANBOARD or not. It's quite possible. I always remember a setup more than I remember a face, if that makes sense. I don't know how you boys feel about that. So, but I'd love to throw with you one day. If you're up for it, you let me know. We can do it on stream, off stream, however you want to do it. I'm pretty sure you shoot a lot better than Stephen Parks does, so I'll happily be your partner anytime.
DK Daniel Killian says, I have enough problems. I'm not turning anything off.
He only needs one number on that board, and it's a double one. That's
Yeah,
all
exactly.
Daniel Killian needs. And I hate him for it, by the way. When he comes over to Leicester, I'm going to be stripping that dartboard down. I'm going to be removing the double one segment. We got Steve Warren in the chat. Welcome, Steve Warren, Charles Rose, Mother Dear, Mike Zazinski, Jay Felix. Welcome, everybody, to the studio chat with our special guest, Matt Iceman, tonight. He's talked a little bit about the start of his darts journey back in the year 2000. Up until the current day, he doesn't do too much in the online world of darts, but you probably still catch him around every now and again, correct?
every once in a while, I get every once in a while I get a burr up my ass and jump on, but not very often anymore right now. It just, if it is, it's usually on a Friday or Saturday.
with you. I wish I could be more like you. I'll be honest. I'm doing too much in the darts world these days. I mean, uh, I was telling Parks the other night on the phone that there's just not enough time in the week. If I do a couple of streams in between those days, I'm getting inboxes. Hey, do you want to throw tonight? Do you want to throw tonight? Do you want to throw tonight? And I feel rude saying no. That's just my nature. Like if I can make it, or if I'm not doing anything, I'll fire up the board. But if I fire up the board, that means I'm going to have a drink.
Right.
And I'm not as young as I once was. My liver is taking an absolute kicking. So you got to find that delicate balance. What I'm trying to say is I need to draw a line somewhere in regards to
Right.
my darts. I don't know about you, gentlemen, whether you drink when you're throwing darts or not. I don't know. Maybe we could talk a little bit about that.
That's another reason why, like, during the week, I try to not play as much because I do drink when I throw, and it's starting to warm up here in Ohio, and I do concrete, and I just don't want to be out there dying every freaking day after drinking.
Yeah, you're going to be dehydrated enough having to be out in the sun all day, right?
Yeah, and it's not like I'm getting any younger.
How old are you, if you don't mind me asking? The people demand to know these things.
47.
47. Oh, you look all right. You look pretty good for your age. I'll be honest with you.
Wow, we got in the line on the stream.
I think there's only what 8 years difference between us, maybe 7.5, depending on when your birthday is. Daniel Killian says it's Ohio, right? What a great dart state. There are so many good players.
Yeah, there's a few. They come and go. I mean, obviously, Larry Butler.
I was about to ask anybody of note that I would have heard of, and Larry Butler probably right at the top of that list.
Yeah, he's down Southern Ohio, down in Dayton. So he's probably, obviously the main one. There for a long time. Gary Mawson lived in Ohio too. I don't know if you're familiar with him, but
I'm not too familiar with him, but I think Peters might have mentioned him once or twice before on the chat.
he was. I can't remember what year it was, but he was a UK Open runner-up.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, I probably should have known that. But in regards to the American dart scene, I kind of got thrown into the deep end a couple of years back, and I'm still trying to learn. It's a lot more difficult trying to learn from afar than being there at the
Right.
shooters and then the Booyah Cups and things like that. So, but I'm trying my best. I'll be heading back over again in November to see these boys, and I think John's actually going to be turning at this time.
That's the plan.
How about you, Matt? Are you going to be around the Myrtle Beach area come November?
Probably not.
No worries, man. No worries.
I don't make it too far anymore.
Any chance to see Stephen Parks in the flesh as a hair washing day? We got Brandy Feltz in the chat as well. Welcome in, Brandy. She said, I miss playing Matt. He always gives me great matches. It's really sweet.
It's always fun playing Brandy.
Yeah, Brandy's a good shot. Like, I always let my guard down when I'm playing her because I see her as a really, really good friend of mine now. But that 19, that needs to go. Honestly, I'm about to bar her from hitting the 19s on a.
You definitely got to worry more about Brandy than Lucky. So.
Oh yeah. I think that's something we can definitely all agree on. Awesome, guys. Awesome. One more time, guys. If you do have any messages for Matt or indeed myself, Stephen, or John, now will be the time to do it. Once we finish this live chat, I may or may not throw up a dart stream. I haven't decided yet, but my arm is very, very easily twisted since I took a whole 24 hours off the dartboard. So now I'm getting withdrawal symptoms.
So did you go to the local draw the other night, Matt?
No, I did make an attempt to find a ride, and he wasn't able to go, but I only made one attempt. And I did see the Facebook post that it didn't get hit.
So they have a trip spot up there. They use the 13-inch board. You were saying it's like $6,800 a dart.
It's now just shy of 67 a dart.
Wow. Well, what darts are you throwing with now these days? What's your go-to barrel? Do you switch them up?
I do. I was throwing Oh crap. X1 Elites. I can't remember the name of them right now. Dave Fig darts. But they've been out of stock for so long, and they're, a lot of places are having a hard time getting their shipments in and stuff like that. And I went up to the dart shop, I don't know, a couple months ago maybe, and just I bought a set of shot. I don't really much care for them.
Okay. What weights are they?
The shot ones, I think 20.
20. Okay. I had a friend who played on the stream the other night from the UK. I convinced him to get a GRANBOARD. He's throwing with 22s, and I was like, "Ooh, I'm not sure if you want to do that long term, mate. I really don't know about that."
Right.
But 20 is what I throw. I mean, again, we talk about it quite a lot. It depends on how you're throwing it at the board. If you're throwing it like it's your ex-wife, then the board's probably not going to last too long. But if you've got a pretty normal kind of throw and you're not aggressively chucking it at the board, you probably get a few more months out of it, maybe a couple of years.
My normal one's an 18, and then steel tip is 21.
Yeah, so that's all right. So most people are going to go heavier with steel tip anyway, because that's just the way it is. But if you try and keep it as close to what you have, if you play more soft tip, I don't know if you play more soft tip or steel tip yourself, but it's always best to try and get them as close as possible.
Right. It goes back. It'd go back and forth for me there. Depending on what I had going on or what my mood was, if I played more soft tip or more steel tip. It just.
So what's your game of preference?
As in cricket or
No,
soft tip or steel tip?
Cricket 01, or do you prefer soft or steel?
Probably prefer steel tip, although I'm mostly play soft tip, but I probably prefer more steel.
Is that down to the area that you guys live in? Because I know in America that a lot of places will have more steel tip than soft tip. Like some places you can't move for a soft tip board, other places you can't find a soft tip board.
It's mostly soft tip around here.
Mostly soft tip, okay.
There's one league that's relatively close. I mean, most places are within 30 minutes, but it's on Sundays, and Sundays is my lazy day. I'm not getting up and doing that.
Rest. Well, I'm glad we managed to get you out of bed and coming onto the chat today. Then. I'm incredibly grateful. So you were talking about the X1 Elite barrels that you were throwing with before, that they're out of stock. I think that might be a worldwide issue going on at the moment. I mean, I know you can get different darts barrels from different places, but here in the UK, I don't know if it's the same in the States. The price of tungsten has completely shot through the roof.
Yep.
It's really expensive. I've got a friend who runs Gray's Darts down the road. They craft their own soft tip and steel tip barrels by hand, and even they were saying that they're struggling to get them in because of the price of tungsten. And they actually do make some copper tungsten, which I never heard of before. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of copper tungsten.
No.
They sell quite a bit of that now, and I had a look at it. It's pretty decent stuff. I think they sent a set out to Richard Talbot, I think, from Florida. I think he has a set, and I'm pretty sure he's relatively happy with it. So, but yeah, the price of tungsten has gone through the roof. So, and I don't know if that's going to be changing anytime soon.
Probably not. I think most of them it looks like is that I've seen is they're raising up over here anywhere between 10 and 20 bucks a set. Your original 85s, 95% tungsten or 90%, that's 85 bucks is you're going to be paying over 100 now. So,
and they say darts is a cheap sport to get yourself into.
Yeah.
It used to be. It used to be.
Yeah.
It's getting right up there now. Jay Felix in the chat. Welcome, Jay. Says, do you guys enjoy blackout tournaments?
I love them.
I don't mind them. It's different. It's fun. I mean,
I don't think I've ever played in one, so I don't have a.
I think the last one I played, I ended up winning.
So correct me if I'm wrong. That's where you put like a bin bag, black bag over the dartboard, and completely covers the numbers, and then you just play a regular game of darts after that.
Yep.
Okay, I've done it once on a live stream for like one game, just as like a forfeit kind of thing. But I didn't realize that it was like is big as what it. Parks, help me finish my sentence. I'm struggling for my words here.
We actually have tournaments like that around here.
That's mental. One people pay for that.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah, because
crazy.
if you think about it, everybody has the same odds.
You just need to know where everything's at.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I mean,
you up
and
and
a
play
lot of
somebody.
that is your warm up. I mean, when even now, if I try it, it's taken a while to warm up to figure out where everything's at, because once you put that bag over it, you think the board's like this when it's really like this.
Yep.
So have you ever hit a ton 80 or a three in the black or a hat trick while playing in the blackout tournaments as well?
Yeah.
That must be a good feeling. I'm gonna have to start trying that more often.
The hardest is when you are thinking you're throwing really good and you try to double out.
Yeah, well, like you said, you think the board's like this, and then it's like,
Yep.
understood. I understand the assignment. I'm still going to try and give it a go.
But it does. It gives you a more level playing field. Because you could take somebody and then go up there and drop a dart in the trip 20 all day long. When you cover that board up, not saying they can't still hit it. It's just not as often.
Yeah, I mean, I can barely hit it when I can see the board, so Christ knows how I'm going to be throwing when there's a bag over it.
But it also helps some people because it takes that thought of aiming out of the board as well. And you can't really overthink your process when you're playing cover board.
Got ya. Brandy Felt says that tungsten has gone up here in the States as well. And DK says that's what I meant. They were pretty. They were pretty.
They were pretty.
I think he was
That was
talking about
pretty.
the copper tungsten darts.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, they are pretty good looking barrels, I'll be honest. I'll have to get myself a set. So you guys got any more questions for Mr. Matt Iceman? He's here for a good time, not a long time. We've started a little bit about his darts journey. He was born and raised in Ohio, is that correct? Or are you just living there at the moment?
Been here the whole time.
The whole time. And I've got a question for you, actually. You say that you'd rather sit and watch darts now rather than take part. Do you see much about what's going on in the UK scene, or do you strictly watch what's happening over in the States, or possibly the Far East as well?
It's mostly PDC, and I was actually earlier today watching the CDC.
Okay, nice.
The one that's going on in Philly.
Yeah.
So
I was watching that last night before we ended up playing.
So what are the fundamental differences, in your opinion, between the American dart game and the UK dart game, from what you've seen?
I mean, it just the level of play. I mean, it's just so much different. I mean, now obviously, yeah, U.S. is starting to get up there because of when it went all online. All the guys were able to play each other,
Yeah,
and U.S. is so much bigger. It's harder to play that all the time like it is compared to anywhere overseas.
Understood. Yeah, so you are right. The American dart game has picked up a lot of traction in the last few years, probably predominantly because of the online aspects of the games. I think that the USA Darts and A to Z Darts and people like that are really putting eyeballs on the product, which I think is great for the sport as a whole. Um, and I just think you guys should keep going, keep at it, and one day I think it really will take off in the States. Still a way to go. It's very niche at the moment. I've noticed. Well, darts here in the UK is probably like I think it's the second most watched sport besides soccer.
Soccer.
There you go. You know how tough it was me to say that. That was hard to leave the soul. That was. But yeah, I think it's getting up there, especially with the age of the internet and online gaming. I think it's only a matter of time.
Right.
So Frankie Causwin said, "Do you like smooth or rough barrel darts for your grip? And do you prefer master out full bowl or double out in the split bowl?"
So, because of all the years in construction and hands always being so dry and callous, I have to have as much grip as possible. And usually, even now, I still have to use like a tack to even get grip on my dart, which I think has caused a lot of my, issues of wanting to play, because there for a while, I'd have a hard time grabbing a hold of the dart and throwing it correctly and releasing it. It just slipped right out of my fingers. So it just got to the point where I just quit fighting it for a while and just quit playing. And I go through spurts that everything feels good and I throw great. And then all of a sudden it's back and game goes downhill, and then I take a break.
I don't think we're too different, me and you, in that. I think there's a lot of similarities there, especially the man hands as well, not like Parks's baby oil fingers.
Right.
What about you,
What,
boys?
oh,
Then
what was the second part of the question?
Light Darts asked, "Do you prefer master out full bowl or like a double out split bowl when you're playing 01?"
Depends on the situation. Or, if it's an upper end league or tournament or this or that, then it's split bowl. If it's, just a fun tournament or fun league or something like that, then it doesn't really matter. Constantly shooting bullseyes does get boring unless you're like John and can't hit them. So
what would be your setup on the GRANBOARD then? If you're just going to throw on the GRANBOARD and play some games for the night, would you just have it set up to master out?
I usually just keep it all the same, like the tournaments do. Open in, 50-point bowl,
Yeah.
master out.
Yeah, that's pretty much the standard in soft tip, isn't it? Although
Yeah,
I did hear that you guys were speaking before that a lot of the tournaments now that within the higher ranks they do a lot of split ball double out.
yeah.
Is it double in as well, or is it open in?
Some do.
Okay, that's more my kind of game, just because of what I'm used to. I'm the only guy that has a soft tip board in the UK that plays steel tip version of darts.
I think bullshooter is double in now in the high levels.
The level 1 is double in, double out.
Yeah.
Split
And
bowl.
then 2 is, I think, open in, split
Double out.
out. And then the levels after that are bullseyes, I think.
Yeah, you are correct. Level 2 is open in, double out, split bowl, and then level 3 was open in, open out, full bowl.
So what happens then? For example, if I do end up going to the ball shooter in Myrtle Beach and signing up for some games, I don't have a ball shooter ranking. So how do where do they go from there, or where do I go from there? What kind of brackets do I get put in? And
Normally
how do
you'll
I
be
prove
put
my
in.
average to them?
Normally you'll be put in as a high shooter if you come in without stats.
That's not good for me. I'm not paying $2,000 to come and get my ass kicked and then go
Yeah,
back
but
open.
But you got to look at the aspect of it. If you come in as a solid shot and tell them, "Oh, I'm a 2.5 in cricket,"
Mhm.
and then you sign up, they put you in level 3, and you go and you destroy the whole bracket.
Yeah, that makes sense, I guess. So they
It
won't take
makes it.
things like GRANBOARD stats or anything like that.
Most don't. Nobody really accepts GRANBOARD stats because they can be skewed so much.
Again, makes sense. Well, I guess I'll just have to bite the bullet then, won't I?
Either that, or what you do is the first night you come in, go to a local pub and just throw a bunch of online games, and it'll get you your stats.
We could do that. We could do that because I'm sure as hell not relying on my partner to carry me that night.
Wow.
Whatever her name was, I can't remember her name. Right, you know what, Stephen? I give you a lot of shit, but you throw pretty decent when it comes to it. Recently, you've been throwing like a sack of shit, though. I have to say that. It's got to be said.
I was gonna say, don't compliment him.
No, not to you. I'll give him. I'll give him a little something and then take it away. Keep him interested. You got to compliment him once and then diss him 5 times.
Well, it's a good thing that last night when we played, it was just no seriousness because he was a sack of shit. So
Again, I'm glad there's something else we can agree on there. Never
mine
change,
wasn't
Stephen.
much. Mine wasn't much better though.
Well, yeah. I mean, when you don't have Kelly Mears carrying you,
Right.
All right, we got Rich Howe in the chat. Welcome in, Rich, the man who beat us in the tournament last week, Parks.
Yeah, he did.
So let's hear from Rich what happened in this big tournament that everybody was shooting like a pro.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, let's hear
And
it.
to go-
Let's hear it.
And
The pro 2 and done.
Yeah.
So, from what I understand, Parks was throwing a 4.5 average in cricket, and you guys still wiped the floor with him.
Yeah. Matt, maybe you know this. I've never really heard of it, and I used to work for Bullshooter, but does Bullshooter still use the breakout player rule? What is that?
Welcome in,
never
Ted
heard of it.
Driver.
Never heard of it.
And Rich says Peter knows how to cheat.
Yeah, explain, Ted, what the breakout player rule is, because we're unfamiliar with what that rule actually is. Like Park said, he did used to work for Bullshooter. He's unaware what that rule is. DK says that can I run 30 games the night before to establish an average? 30 games is a lot, man. That's a lot of time, especially with jet lag. I'll give it a go. I mean, if that's what I have to do, that's what I have to do.
Yeah, we'll figure something.
Yeah, I'm just there for a laugh anyway. I'll throw up a couple of live streams with you guys, get my ass kicked at the Bullshooter, and then come home a happier, broke man.
Oh, he's saying if you shoot way above your average, they level you up.
Ah, I see. He's saying that Park sucked on Friday night. When was it that we teamed?
I don't think Bullshooters never had that.
No, I have seen like in other tournaments, maybe like TOC or Vegas or something, where if you're shooting well above your average, they'll move you up a bracket or whatever, or they kick you out of the tournament.
I was just gonna say, I've seen it where they just forfeit you.
Yeah, I've known a lot of people that went out to Vegas for the NDA that either got forfeited or told they can't throw anymore because they're throwing too high above their average or something. I'm like, that's just stupid.
I mean, sometimes you do though. Like, okay, I get that some people may be sandbagging, but that's not for everybody. I mean, I can throw games where I'm throwing a 1-2 in cricket. And
Yeah,
then
but
I can go and
they're
throw a
talking
6.
consistent. So if you're coming in as a 2.5 average and you're shooting a 4 in your first 6 games of cricket.
Yeah. But again, it depends what night it is, how much alcohol you've had, how the dart's feeling, right? Surely.
Right.
I've had nights where I've won at least 2 medleys in a row before I start getting my ass kicked. At least untold times. Light Dart says, can you get games in with your dongle for GRANBOARD? Oh, I think he means, you know what Joey Lynn does, where he puts the he puts a dongle together so you can play. If you've got a GRANBOARD, you can play darts live on there and V darts and things like that. I don't know. Do they take a darts live average?
I don't think.
Because I know that darts live is way more predominant in the Far East than it is anywhere else. But
Like it's the problem with any kind of online board from home is you could skew your average significantly.
all right, yeah, again, makes sense.
I imagine that the only ones that Bullshooter is going to be taking is either theirs, the leagues that are run through them, any arachnid leagues, Radical and Phoenix. It's
Yep.
probably all there would be my guess.
We don't have any of those boards in this country. I think there may be one or two Bullshooter boards. What are they called? Arachnids, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're up in Scotland, I think. I think there's one or two there. I know there's a Scottish distributor that like hires them out for weddings and things like that. But that's all I know. Up in Manchester, I saw a few darts live boards and one Phoenix board. Apart from that, I couldn't tell you anywhere in the UK that has an arachnid board.
The Phoenix boards are nice. They're just expensive to play on.
I mean, I've looked at trying to get one myself to throw at home, but my roof's too short. Like it just wouldn't fit. It wouldn't fit. I'm lucky I can get the GRANBOARD in here with the size of the roof. And then there's the price as well, like you've just said. I'm not a rich man. I never will be a rich man. But one day we'll see. Rich Howe was saying that you sucked on Friday night, Pops.
Whatever.
Hey, don't shoot the messenger. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just reading what the chat says.
I saw what Rich said and I ignored it.
I like when the truth comes out.
Just on Friday, though, right?
Right.
Only Friday.
No, it's every night.
On Saturday
every
nights,
night.
he's prime Phil Taylor, apparently.
Every night. No, I didn't play well last night either, right, Matt?
No.
You guys are thinking about joining the FTL leagues? You know, the 7 week flex leagues that Lucky and Brandy are hosting.
Possibly.
Get rid of Lucky and I'll think about it.
That might be a tough ask.
Brandy,
To be honest with you, since he's hosting the whole thing.
Brandy's hosting the whole thing. Lucky just gets the
I'll put a
credit.
word in the right ear and see what we can do.
Brandy's hosting it. Lucky just gets the credit.
Well, yeah, if you guys do want to join, or anyone watching the chat, it's a 7 week flex league on the GRANBOARD. There's 2 divisions at the moment. There's Division 1, Division 2, and it's all based on your rankings. There's cash prizes for first and second place in both divisions. You've got as long as you want to organise your games amongst each other, as long as it's done within those 7 weeks. And then after those 7 weeks are over, I think there's like a 2 or 3 week hiatus, and then they'll start what will be season 3. No, there's no level 3 at the moment, Jay, but I promise you that we'll probably be in there at some point. And we got Jamie McNabb in the chat as well. Says pretty new at darts. What's the best way to practice to level up the quickest? Thank you very much. Boys, I'll leave you.
Practice with a purpose.
Practice with a purpose. What about you, boys? You got any insight for Jamie?
Practice.
Yeah, I mean, focused practice. You know, just standing at the board, you know, throwing darts at it isn't really practice. You got to have some kind of, you know, around the world, you know, start at the 1. If you hit the triple 1, you move to the 4, you know, see how long it takes you to get all the way around the world to 20 and then the bullseye. You know, when I was playing a lot of field tip and whatnot, I always played, you know, practice doubles. You know, start at the double 1 and hit it. You got to hit 2 out of 3 darts and then move to the double 2 and then move to the double 3.
And how much alcohol needs to be involved to be able to hit all that?
Couple. Yeah, I have a couple of drinks to take that, like Matt said, take that nervousness out of it and whatnot.
Yeah.
But
It does loosen you up, I'll be honest.
And then it's a fine line from there, because once you have a couple and you're like, oh, I can have one more, and oh, I can have one more, and next thing you know, you can't even see the board.
Learn how to play darts sober before you learn how to play it with alcohol.
Now
That
that
too.
is some advice. That's some great advice, Peters. When you guys are throwing darts and you're having a drink, do you tend to have a drink before you start throwing darts? Or is it like part and parcel, like as soon as you turn the board on,
I'm
then
not
that's when you grab
understanding
your
this.
first drink?
I'm not understanding this having a drink. I like to knock back a 6-pack before I throw my first one.
This is the point I'm trying to make. Do you do that at the start or do you do that as you're
I,
playing?
I do it in the beginning
The pre-game, that's the pre-game before the show.
because, and once again, it's using alcohol as a crutch, but like I shake a lot and nerves, and that just wipes all that away.
Yeah. I mean, we're not here to promote heavy drinking while you're throwing darts. But
No,
I'll be the first one to tell you there's a fine line, but it can help your game. You got to
but
be smart with it.
even if you like shake or have nerves, to truly learn how to play the game, play it sober. Because the only way to figure out how to get through that shaky or nervousness is by doing it. Because not all tournaments you go to, especially if you hit the big leagues, you can't drink while you're playing darts. So
Nuts
like
for
the
that.
so like the PDC, like you can drink water. Now you can drink in the back, but can you get through, 6, 7 legs without any alcohol?
Yeah, they're not just quick games either, are they? So you could be up there for a lot of time. A lot of time.
So you have to learn how to play sober before you could play.
Brandy says that she played for 20 years completely sober. Now she drinks beer. That is not all she drinks. I've seen her on the streams. She's always got a different kind of cocktail in her hand every time I see her. Sometimes
And
it's
you
beer, sometimes it's IPA,
and you
sometimes
would
it's
too if you were
mojito.
married to Lucky.
Yeah. That's the advice for surviving with Lucky Felts. That's the advice for that.
Like
That has nothing to do with darts with Brandy's drinking. It's her husband.
Like Dart says, for kids, would you have to start from the normal line or move up? I guess it depends on the age. Eventually, you're gonna have to move to the throw line. So I guess
well,
it's better to start them there sooner rather than later.
Depending on the age, I mean, you can move them up a little bit.
I was going to ask you, John, where about a month ago or whatever, when Viv and I played you and McKenna, where was McKenna throwing from?
McKenna stands 1 foot in front of the line. She has her own line that's exactly a foot in front of.
Okay. And McKenna's roughly the same age as Amelia, right? So
Yeah, McKenna's 8.
yeah, that's still pretty far away from the board.
Correct. But you don't want to put them too close because they don't know their own strength. So then as you're moving them back, you're just going to make it harder and harder on them. So I feel like a foot is a manageable distance to where they'll be able to move back little by little and still improve.
Yeah, and that's pretty much where I had Viviana standing, was like 1 foot in front of the line.
And where do you throw
And
from, Fox?
the 8-foot line.
2 feet in front of the line.
Yeah, 2 feet in front of the line.
Yeah, you need to step a couple of feet forward, I think. Yeah, I've got two strips. One for the soft tip throw line, one for the steel tip. I did have like a complete ocky, but it kept moving left and right, left and right. It was getting on my freaking nerves. So I've just put two little strips down. That
So
keeps me
this,
good.
so this is what I got here. I got Aki there up to the board, and I just switch out the soft tip and steel tip and stand back a couple inches off that line is for soft tip.
Yeah. Have you got one of those U-shaped brackets then? It takes off the board and you just replace it with the steel tip.
No, I just got the regular
Okay.
old school U bracket or whatever that you got to switch in for the soft tip or the steel tip.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I've got. So I just take mine off when I'm done with the soft tip, and then just slide the steel tip board in place of it. Jamie McNabb's back in the chat, says, Matt, what part of Ohio? He's from Columbus.
Ashland.
Ashland?
Ashland. I'm an hour north of Columbus.
Okay.
I'm right dead in the middle of Cleveland and Columbus.
And Brandy says,
Right.
when my daughter was 10, she started throwing on the regular line. Sorry, Parks, you were going to say something?
That seems like a good age to start at the regular line.
Yeah, I think so. I think sooner rather than later to start doing it. I mean, when did Luke Littler learn how to throw darts? I wonder when he started throwing from the normal throw line. Given that he's only 19 now and won, multiple world championships.
Yeah, that kid is something else.
You say, kid. I don't fully believe he's 19. I need to check his birth certificate out. The guy looks 49 years old. I know I keep saying that and I keep ribbing him for it, but I'm never going to have his level of success. Not even a percentage of that. So I think it's my duty to tear him down a little bit when I get the chance.
So here's the question with Luke Littler. Starting out at such a young age, he already has controversy around him. How long do you think he's going to stay in the PDC?
Matt, I'll leave that one for you to answer first.
I think a lot of it just depends on how interested he stays in just winning titles. He obviously has always said money didn't matter. Well, obviously it doesn't to him now, obviously, but and just wants to win titles. I mean, yeah, but how far is it going to go until you say, you know what, I'm just kind of bored with this, being so young and having that success so early? I think that could kill a lot of the drive later on in his career. But it just all depends on how his mentality stays up. I mean,
yeah, that's interesting because he's done everything that he can possibly ever wanted to achieve in darts. He's got the titles, he's got the money, and at such a young age. A lot of people forget he's only 19 years old. I mean, he religiously plays Xbox. He probably prefers that than to throwing darts. The only difference is, he's good at darts and the money's there and the fame.
right.
I personally don't know how long he's going to be, doing it for and at what level.
I mean, okay, so look at it this way. It'd be kind of like when Tiger Woods first came out and turned pro at 19, 20 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And Jack Nicklaus was the top and had all these titles, all these majors, and then, he started winning a lot early, just like Littler's doing. And then he was, number one for 10, 12 years in a row. Nobody even close to him.
Yeah.
And he still fell short of the goal. Does
But what is the goal?
Does any of that aspect where Luke's trying to catch Phil, could that possibly happen there?
I don't think it will. I don't think that'll ever happen because of the level of play that's coming up. A lot of people thought MVG was going to be the one to beat Phil Taylor out.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a different ball game these days, isn't it?
And then you have a 17-year-old kid that everybody looked past. They're like, oh, kid 17, and came out and, through straight fire. So as they progress, you have such new talent coming up now compared to what the game used to be, talent today is crazy.
But you can't deny the fact that the boom period that darts is going through now is purely down to Littler, purely 100%.
Correct.
You know, they've got supporting characters with MVG and Van Veen and people like that. Luke Humphreys, obviously. But let's be honest, you can speak to any kid like who doesn't even watch darts and ask who Luke Littler is, and they'll tell you. The
Correct.
same going back to the Tiger Woods thing that you were saying. You say to anybody who's never watched golf in their entire life, do you know who Tiger Woods is? 100% they're going to say yeah. 100% of the time they'll say yes. You ask them who Rory McIlroy is, a lot of people won't know who that is, no matter how much he's done for the sport of golf in recent times.
Right.
I think in 20 years' time, that people will still know who Luke Littler is, even if they don't watch the sport. That's my take on it anyway.
If Rory would go and get himself a handful of DUIs, people would know who he is.
Yeah, you got to be a bit naughty.
Hell, when they start beating you out on golf, you got to get your fame somewhere. Tiger Woods chose DUIs.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, look at people like Mike Tyson. You know, they're
Yeah.
infamous now. So, what about you, Parks? Before we move on to the questions, what do you think?
I agree with Matt. It's all going to be up to him and how he puts his mind to the game. If you know, he may win 2 or 3 more world titles and have all that money and just be like, yeah, I don't want to play darts anymore, or I'm going to move on to something else or do something else or whatnot.
Seeing
So
him in Hollywood in starring roles.
I definitely think you're going to see him take a big break. I think he'll come back in a later time, but I do think you're going to see him go on a hiatus for a bit.
Interesting. Okay.
And it's also not so far out of aspect that, where MVG was where he's at now, and then all of a sudden his game just kind of went down, leveled off with everybody else instead of being way above everybody else.
Correct.
And who's to say that doesn't happen with Littler, so it's so far down the road, you just never know. Any kind of situation could pop up. He could have a better offer to go do something else, to take a few years off, like you said, and say, oh, you know what, I want to go try this.
Honestly, I think he's
got to remember
his name. I think he's making more money off his name with sponsorships and things like that than he's getting in prize money.
100%.
I think that's pocket money to him. I think whatever it may be, he's definitely earning more money with sponsorships and advertising and stuff.
And that's in any sport.
Yeah, and he doesn't have to do anything. I mean, literally doesn't have to do anything. So one day we'll get there, boys. All right. Well, it's been a great chat. Thank you, Matt, for joining the live studio chat tonight. Before we call it an end to the chat, I've got some quick fire questions for you, which we do at the end of every chat. They're not all strictly based on darts, but if you can give me just off the top of your head what comes to mind, and then we'll move on to the next question. Without further ado, Mr. Iceman, here are your Fatality Games quick fire questions. First question, I'm pretty sure I already know the answer to this, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Do you prefer soft tip or steel tip darts?
Steel.
Steel tip. What is your favorite sport outside of darts?
Baseball.
Baseball. Do you have an ideal walk-on song?
No.
No. Silence. Just silence and applause. Favorite movie genre?
Action or thriller?
Action or thriller? Do you have a favorite action or thriller movie?
Not off the top of my head.
Okay, I'll just put Last Action Hero in there for you. With Arnold Schwarzenegger. Great movie. Moving on. Do you have a dream darts opponent that you've not yet managed to play?
I mean, obviously it'd probably be, originally obviously Phil, but I think I'm going to go with Price.
Price.
just because he wants to use my last name.
That's fair. There's got to be a lawsuit in there somewhere, I'm sure. Favorite American darts opponent?
Opponent would be DJ Sayer.
DJ
Sayer.
Okay.
Sayer.
Sayer, DJ Sayer. Okay. You guys familiar?
I am.
Yeah. Okay. I'm still learning. Sweet or savory snacks?
Sweet.
Sweet snacks. Favorite sweet?
Chocolate.
The country that you would most like to visit?
Oh, there's a bunch. Greece.
Greece, not a bad. I've not been to Greece yet. I'd love to go to Greece. Me and Ellie were talking about Greece the other day, actually. Yeah, it's supposed to be a really nice place to go. The greatest darts player in your opinion, dead or alive?
Taylor.
I should have just wrote Phil Taylor down before he answered, because Phil Taylor's sitting on about 467 votes as we speak. But moving on to my favorite question of the stream, do you prefer the company of Mr. Stephen Parks or Mr. John Peters?
Neither.
Neither.
I knew that was the answer that was coming.
That's the first time we've had a stalemate. But
I've been
again,
patiently waiting for that question because I
John,
knew that was the answer.
you're miles ahead in the lead, so don't take that too to heart. Does that count as a vote each, or just I'll count
I
the
would
vote for them
I
all?
would rather not have my name attached to Matt, so you can even give that one to Parks.
All right, so John Peters 26, Stephen Parks 4. Do you prefer the big night out, or do you prefer a Netflix and chill?
Anymore? Just chill.
Okay. And your favorite darts tournament to watch and or be a part of?
Probably the World Championships or the World Cup.
Okay, brilliant. Well, Mr. Matt Iceman, those were your quick fire questions from the Fatality Game Studio chat. We want to thank you again for your time tonight. We really do appreciate you hanging out with us. Stephen, John, if you would like to do the closing portion of the stream before we call it a day.
I'm done with Matt. No, man. Again, thanks for taking the time out and being with us today. But go ahead and give a shout out to anyone you want.
I'll shout out to you guys for doing what you're doing. Craig, you're doing a great job with what you've been doing.
Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Just keep doing what you've been doing.
Thank you, brother. Yeah, I've made a lot of great friends doing this, and I don't think we're going to be stopping anytime soon. For better or for worse, we'll be around. Well, that's it. That's the Fatality Game Studio chat, guys. I want to thank my co-hosts John Peters and Stephen Parks, our special guest Matt Iceman tonight, for hanging out with us on the studio chat. We'll be live again next Sunday, with another guest. We'll be doing the Fatality Games GRANBOARD Doubles Tuesday, this coming Tuesday from 9:30 p.m. here in the UK, where I will be playing game 3 of the Season 2 FTL Darts League against Frankie McCausland in a 13 leg. And then I'll be doubling up with somebody for the rest of the stream if you guys want to come and challenge us in the Fatality Games lobby. My name's been Craig, that's John, that's Stephen, that's Matt. Have a great evening, everybody. And
Thanks,
see you
Matt.
on the next one.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Matt.
Good night.